Yeah, no wonder. No wonder I felt like something was missing. All right, yo, what's up, Fort? All right, and by the way, Fort, you said there was something that you would like me to review. One key finesse document. I would be down to read that. How is League these days? I've been getting back into it. There was actually quite a while where I didn't play. There was like 2 months where I didn't play, so I'm like, my account is in GM right now. I'm gonna work my way back up to Challenger. I had to like de-rust in it quite a bit because it felt my gameplay felt kind of fraudulent because it feels like League is one of those games, even more so than Tetris, where if I spend like any amount of time not playing it, it's so hard to like get back. Can you leak when the next supporter sale is? I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know when the next supporter sale is. I mean, it's probably Christmas. I can't see us doing a supporter sale before then. Hold on. Dude, my PC is dusty. What the fuck? The side of my PC. But yeah, it's probably just Christmas. I can't imagine us doing any sale before then. And yeah, in terms of events and stuff, dude, like last year I was thinking we'd be doing so many more events than we actually ended up doing. But that's just cuz like shit with the redesign, it's just taking up all the resources in development, right? But yeah, dude, last year I was thinking we would be doing like Halloween shit. I was thinking we might do fucking I don't know what else was I thinking we would be doing. Like New Year's? I had thoughts that I was going to be doing like a whole bunch of things, but unfortunately it's going to have to wait for next year. Happy Team CA, I love Tetris. Yo, what's up? Wait, by the way, did you read the new OPM webcomic chapter? That shit was peak. Happy Team. That shit is so good. I can wait until Christmas. Yeah. I mean, we typically do the sales around those times. Yes, sir. It was so good. So many ideas, yet not enough time to implement them. Yeah, I mean, like, okay. So, when thinking about like adding things of value, events are always going to be a sort of like a lower priority than any large development work. So for example, if we're making like a big new game mode, or we were making like something like the redesign, right, which is a major part of season 3, right? Because what I can say here, right, because the thing is, when I don't speak, when I don't stream, or I don't like communicate with the community for a long period of time, people start like making shit up, and like rumors start spreading really easily. So my statement on season 3 right now is that season 3 and the redesign are going to come at the same time. So there's going to be like a big Tetrio overhaul. It's going to feel like Tetrio 2, in a way, right? So yeah, like that, because it's sort of a big release where everything is coming bundled at the same time, events have to kind of take a back foot to that, right? Because it's just less important. So yeah, I thought there wasn't many events because the ad provider scamming OSC TWC. I mean, there's those two things too, yeah, right? So that pushes our timeline back as well. So those are also components, but the main thing that's sort of on the chopping block here is redesign stuff in season 3. Do you mean the One Punch Man webcomic? Yes, it is very, very good. The One Punch Man webcomic is so good. And then I looked at the new anime season, and it was very not good. Yeah, it is essentially a Tetrio release 1.0, so it's like the big update. Can't have more CSGO operations if you're cooking up a rehaul to Source 2 engine type bit. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely familiar with the development of CS, but I can imagine that, like, the people doing operations and the people doing the Source engine stuff aren't the same people. I don't know. I'm not 100% on that. I thought he stopped the webcomic because he was working with the manga now. No, 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 no. The manga and the webcomic are just going in two different directions. So it's Murata that handles the manga, just purely. So you are reading fake news. Tetrio 1 released when we hit 10 million players. Wait, hold on. I actually did a check. What is the player count at? Cause, okay. The thing is, we have been... Yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, we've been pruning this number. So this number has not hit 10 mil in a very long time. The original plan was that we were going to, we were going to have a special game mode released on 10 million, but because we wanted to push it back a little bit, we prune like inactive bot accounts to make this number go down. And basically we have a system where it prunes inactive accounts whenever it gets close to reaching 10 million. Because yeah, like I want to do something for 10 million, right? Like I've had the game design for it for like quite a while, but it's just that it's never been like, it's the same thing as the events, right? Like it's never been an actual event, or we haven't had the development room to actually do the event properly. So it's kind of been put on the back burner, and as things pile up, it's like it's just stayed there for a very long time. So yeah, like the difference is 5 million Blast was not designed by me. So the idea of like column fatigue, or column sickness, or whatever you want to call it, was something that I was messing with. But the design of 5 million Blast was completely done by Osk. And so, like, a lot of people will be like, Garbo, why the fuck did you make 5 million Blast? It's like, I didn't, man. That wasn't me. I'm gonna make an actually good mode, chat. Murata just wants to draw hot women. I mean, fuck it, man, fair. But the story is kind of gone to shambles with that series. I feel like they want to end it earlier or something. Why the 5 million Blast Lander? I think it was a bad mode. I don't think it was a good mode. Technically weren't, but they did stop the fun operations in favor of moving the game over with a new UI, etc. too. Yeah. I remember the one I played Operation Hydra. That was the one that I remember. And then I remember I held on to a bunch of the cases, and they ended up selling for like $2 each, which was unheard of for cases at the time. Those were the days. It did not stop looping. Yeah, it really didn't. It was still a DPC game. It was kind of depressing, honestly. But yeah, what's been new with Tetrio recently? Because I saw, dude, I logged in, and it was just after Lellerer got the Warlock world record, and so it's here, right? And like, dude, has Warlock gone too far? This guy is like fucking insane. Like, let's go to like later in the run. Like, he's had 3,000 meters, 2,000 back-to-back. Completely chilling. Has Warlock gone too far? I do actually like post-rework Warlock more than pre-rework, though. And I've been trying to gauge opinion, and there seems to be fairly mixed opinions, where there's still some people saying, like, man, old Warlock was so good, why did you, rework it? But I think, like, for its target audience, new rework has, or Warlock's rework has been a success. The one of the most dubious, like, quality was, I think Damnation. A lot of people still find it kind of janky. But old Damnation was also just, like, not that good either way. So It's a tricky sort of thing to make work conceptually. What is Warlock? It is this quick play mode. It's this quick play mod. Basically, you get rewarded a lot for doing all spins, except so you can't do 2 of the same number clear in a row. So for example, like if you do a T-spin double and then a J-spin double, you will instantly die. And also, any of your normal clears, so like singles, doubles, triples, and quads, if you do 2 of those in a row, you also instantly die. What the fuck, lower or stall better? I mean, like the stalling... Is there that much stalling that can be done in this case? Okay. No, I think this is maximum stall. Could have brought the O to the right. So like, dash preserve it to the right while hitting hold, so you have like a ledge to stall it on. I mean, like, I guess, but this is like pretty close to optimal. Stalling is cringe anyways. I mean, yeah, it's world record regardless, and he's gonna get world record again. He's gonna be the first 5K. He cooked the thing by instantly spinning. Oh, like the rotation there. But that's not a kick. That's just a rotation. Are you gonna watch Worlds? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the people that I was gonna watch party it with are actually watch partying it in person, because they're all in like the LA area. But yeah, I'm still gonna be watching. I mean, like, I want to watch T1 lose, but like realistically, I don't think it's gonna happen. It's like this every year. No way. I mean, like, okay, the thing is, like, I like Faker as much as the next guy or whatever, right? But it's like, come on. Like, do we want another fucking round of T1 skins? Do we want another, like, the same thing happens where T1 wins? Do we really? I also saw that Gohan got the Tyrant record. Here, let me look up Tetrio high level. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, there was Tyrant here. The problem is, like, the Tyrant, the records are, like, not that fun to watch, because it's just someone APMing really fast. I actually think, this mode, if there's ever, like, a quick play too, which is not the most, like, unreasonable thing to happen. So, the thing is, okay, there is a lot that's kind of janky about quick play, about quick play in general, right? So, if I ever do, like, an overhaul of quick play, so, for example, I think, there's ways to sort of reduce KO RNG. I also think the way climbing speed works is really jank. I'm not a fan of how the mechanisms of which climbing speed works. I think targeting can be smoothed out as well. Now that it's just a game mode that's been released and I've seen it for a while, right? There's a lot of things that I can identify that could be fixed with it. The issue is that that if I were to fix quick play, it would have to come with like a full wipe of every single leaderboard and stuff, right? It would come with wiping the leaderboards and everything. So yeah, like, I could make a huge overhaul of quick play, but it would not be for free. It has to be the kind of thing that, like, is a one and done. Just because of the nature of how quick play is a game that's based on, like, your personal records, and no one likes getting their records wiped. So in the case that I do a quick play revamp, which, if I had to give a percent chance, I would say it's like a 35% chance of happening. So the odds aren't in favor of it, but it's still something that, like, might happen. I I would also want to take a look at Tyrant again. I would like to take a look at like Tyrant, Damnation, all of those things. In fact, it might even be fun to do a tier list of just the things that I would want to rework. In terms of like categories. Do you think there's something that can be done against loops like Mechheart and TL? Yes. So those things to address that are planned for Season 3. There's one person who Mechhearted their way into S. Yeah. These are issues that I've been aware of for like the entire year, basically. But yeah, like I think unrated TL is not gonna happen. Unrated TL is like, so I'll play this in the background without music. So unrated TL is probably never gonna happen because there's sort of you sort of need a ranked ladder for this game to work. And the reason is because Tetrio as a game is like, it's very deterministic in that like, if you're better than your opponent, let's say you are just able to play at 2 PPS and your opponent can only play 1.6 and you're more efficient than them, right? Then, like, really, there's not gonna be any way that your opponent wins. And this is different from a lot of other types of games that are less deterministic, because let's say if someone just, like, lands the right hit, they can win, right? But in this game, it's like, okay, someone can misdrop, but it's a lot rarer for someone to actually be able to, like, clutch out a win against someone who's at a certain point better than them. And so my argument here is more so than other games. And so what a ranked ladder does is it makes sure that you're playing against the opponents that are matching you, right? And so even if there were an unrated ladder, it would still have to be ranked somehow. And in fact, ranked as aggressively as TL would be, right? And so the only difference would be you would split the queue in two, and then everyone would get worse matches overall. Which seems kind of bad. It just doesn't seem like it's solving anything, right? Give me cheese race with leaderboards, thank you. I do think a downstacking mode would be good. I don't think it would be cheese race, but yeah, I like downstacking modes. Again, it's just like a matter of priorities and like what comes first, what comes second. Because people will tell me like, oh, you should add this thing, and it's like I can say all the time, it's like, yeah, you know what, that'd be a great idea, but does it come in front of everything else that's currently being worked on? And much of the time the answer is going to be no, right? Even though it would be like a positive. Yeah, because like you can just play Jestress. Like I don't think there's any sort of improvement that that can be made to just pure cheese race that would make it worth doing over to making and putting it as a priority over everything else. Now, with that being said, this is going to count as, like, a real Garbocan leak. This is something that, when we talk about new modes, I'll be honest when we talk about new modes, right? So, with Cheese Race, I'm being honest when I say that, like, it's not something that is going to be ever a priority, because it's something that already exists, and the improvements to it, like, it would have to be done differently to the point where like it's a real improvement over Jestress 100 line, at least in my opinion, because like Tetrio is like we're trying to have a certain standard of game design. So if it's like taking low-hanging fruit of like 100 line cheese race that you can play in your client and it's scored or whatever, right? It's like that is certain work that goes into something that doesn't have a reason to exist, right? Integrated as difficult rule sets in custom games. Well, the point would be a leaderboard then, right? Because you can recreate the environment of Cheese Race in Zen. It's just there's not going to be a leaderboard, right? So, anyways, as I said before, like I'm going to be honest when it comes to when it comes to talking about what game modes realistically have a shot of getting into the game in not some kind of weird long term, right? In some abstract long term, you never know type of thing, right? And there is one game mode that I think that my opinion is that it's something that really has value that needs to be explored, and that is turn-based. So I've spoken a little bit on this before, but my opinion is that turn-based is something that hasn't truly been done right in this game, and I think there's huge benefits to turn-based. So a big reason why is that a lot of people want slow Tetris, right? Like they want PPT, they want Tetra Esports or Tetra Legends or whatever, right? But the thing is that I think slow Tetris is just bad if you're looking to play an efficiency game. Like those also end up being speed games anyways, and in fact, a lot of the time they can become more speed reliant than uncapped games, just because the way they're set up is primarily around playing offensively, right? So if you look at like the way PPT works with the 30% messiness, right? It is based on like sending clean garbage or sending sorry, I still have a cough. Sending larger attacks, right? And so because of an offensive shift, it does end up being like still a very speed reliant game. So I think that there is value in having like an actual pure efficiency, like place your blocks better than your opponent to win type of game, and one that has like also macro strategy and stuff. But that's not capped Tetris. That's not tuning limit, right? So I'm a fan of the extremes, which would be uncapped, which we have now, right? And turn-based, which would be your efficiency game, right? I think that there is a huge value in having those two. So that is like I've already been doing like a game design for it, right? And it does get muddy into the it does get muddied up in the like production timeline, because obviously it's like we still need to ship a bunch of other things. But when it comes down to like, again, being honest about game modes, the game mode that I'm the most enthusiastic about like actually making work, it's turn-based. For turn-based to work, it'll have to be a completely new game. Players can pre-move infinitely anytime they want, and they both play in sync. I mean, that's not it either. I don't want to go into detail about the actual like design. So, also here's the issue with talking about things that I haven't released yet, right, to the public, which is kind of like it's kind of a it's not the best practice, just because I can't speak on literally every single thing. So I just have to see someone say like, oh, but what about this? And I'm like, oh no, I do have a solution for that, but I can't tell you, right? But yeah, the issues are addressed in my design of it, right? And so it'll probably come after season 3. It's not going to be something that comes with season 3, especially not like support in some kind of official capacity to be in a queue, right? It would be a custom game thing at first. However, that is something that I'm interested in, to give a sort of a insight into my priorities game design wise. But yeah, any given number of blocks in player 1 equals the number of blocks in player 2. Does not have to be like that for it, but I will, because like if you think about like a card game, right? Like the amount of cards that have been played, like the player that went first is going to have played more cards at any given time, right? But yeah, like there are still ways to balance it aside from that, right? So if you look at Hearthstone, like the player who goes second draws an extra card and gets the coin, and which gives you an extra mana on a turn. And my point is there are ways to achieve a similar effect in Tetris. Are there new events planned? No. So I do plan to modify. So for example, there's the Christmas event is not going to be the exact same Christmas event that you got last year, but it will still be Snowball Board. It's just I'm going to have modifications to Snowball Board, and there will be a reversed version of Snowball Board that you guys can look forward to. So yeah, anything all new content I'd like to stray away from, because we've already been like putting development resources all over the place with like the new ad provider and like a TWC, etc. Right? So I would really not like to have development resources detoured again, but yeah, there will be modifications to it. Let's see. The fuck you mean part 2? This has to be part 25 by now. I mean, it's part 2 relative to what... Actually, no. You know what? But this is the first time I, like, went a whole month, right? Actually, that's not even true, man. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I just stream whenever. Yeah, the problem is, like, it was very easy to stream at the start of the year. Because... like, there was a lot of new content coming out, or like around like December last year, because we had like quick play releasing. We were doing a whole bunch of like new achievements, new mods, new event mods, right? Doing events, doing like updates. It's like now I can talk about high altitude garbage changes or canceling sickness or whatever, right? But if I regularly stream and talk about development now, it's going to be like, oh, I can't speak. I can't speak about that, right? Because one of the things that I really want to do, because this is the thing that I do with playtesters. So, on the playtest server, I will, like, run a playtest of new mechanics, and then I'll have like a discussion where we talk about the new mechanics. And so anyone can ask me anything. Anyone can say like, oh, but have you considered this thing? What if this feels bad? Or like, I didn't like this, right? And I will give like full responses that are well thought out and articulated, or I'll try my best to, right? And that sort of feedback forum, I feel like, is a very good thing, right? That I do with playtesters. And trust me, the playtesters are not all Garbo sympathizers. Like, they're sort of, when I review the playtest applications, like a lot of the people who are very critical of me, I end up liking their thought process, because if they hate something so passionately, right, they will articulate exactly why, and they'll have thought about it. So There's like a range of different types of opinions in playtesting that I get to hear, and I really think that sort of format is a positive. And so I've been wanting to do something like that with just like the stream in general, but the problem is that like there's gonna be a lot of things that I'm just like, oh, you know what, I have the solution for that, but I just can't tell you until it comes out. And I think that would make for a lot of very lame answers. And so I would have to do it like sort of close to a release, like maybe a month after season 3 or something. We can gather and do a full on like responses to season 3 like Q&A back and forth discussion stream, anything like that. Because I think that one of the big issues is that a lot of the discussion about this game that I have, and a lot of the feedback that I take is not public, right? And so there's a few disadvantages with that, right? The first being that like not everyone can voice their opinion, because it has to be people vetted through being a playtester, right? But the second is that there's no public record of it. So if I answered someone's question, there's not, and someone else asked that question in the future, right? If I have it in like a public spot, then someone can just link back to it with a timestamp and say, here is the like actual official stance on that matter. And so a good example of this, I actually had this pulled up in Garbo React Please. So I briefly skimmed through this, but I would like to like give a full response to this. But we have here, so following the release of Season 2 and subsequent adding of Garbage +1, Clean Pressure has become a completely unviable playstyle. Low surge and all spin sending insane amounts of cheese makes it incredibly risky to go for aggressive quad and TSD attacks, because even if you build a high surge while doing so, your opponent with proper play can easily counter high surges into the 20s. It's kind of wild looking at old Season 1 tournaments and hearing comments say someone is cheesed up with like 3 lines of cheese on the board. It's such a shame that the Season 1 style of playing ping pong and clean spikes back and forth is pretty much dead, especially in the lower ranks where cheese is even more prevalent due to low surges being way more common. Personally, I think the style of play was way more fun and dynamic. By the way, least favorite word, what the fuck does dynamic mean? To play, instead of being forced to go down all the time, risking death by 1,000 cuts on any aggressive play. Even you push your opponent far up on the board, they still have an easier time down stacking clean while you're left with the worst board state having to DS cheese garbage. So I think what they're saying here are valid thoughts to have on Season 2, right? Because like sending clean pressure is, or we call it pressure, but it doesn't really register as pressure anymore because like you're not pressuring anything, right? So if you open send clean garbage to your opponent without any sort of threat, then it's just like you're giving your opponent free material, and at a high level of play, it's bad, right? It's bad to do. So you would also, can we not be saying hi stream here? As I'm trying to read it. But yeah, like it is the sort of thing that it gets punished too hard. And so you have to have some kind of threat or be sending it against someone like spamming all spins and cut the attack, right? So if they like back-to-back S spin double and you send a quad and like breaks the attack and then it sends cheese over, right? So that's more of the like way that you would use larger attacks, unless as Dory mentioned, you are like an OSW or a promo who just has to force like a huge offensive over it, right? There are also ways to make it work if you use multiplier with it, right? So for example, if you like do 2 spins and then a T-spin quad, like that just works even if you have low surge. But yeah, like so in general, I've already talked to Dormio with this, which is why like he's able to say what I'd argue, right? But my to expand more on my point here, so the gameplay of like sending clean garbage back and forth, I do think it's fun, and it doesn't exist as much in this game, and part of the reason why I think it's oh yeah, okay, I saw it. Yeah, I was reading Dormy. I thought you meant you complained to this person, but okay, no, yeah, me and Dormy have talked about this. But yeah, so getting back to what I was saying, like when you have a game where you're ping pong clean garbage, one of the things that's fun about it is that you can just wait and expect an attack, right? So it's like, if I'm sending like clean garbage back and forth, and I know like generally the time that it takes for them to build a quad, and I have a feeling they're gonna send now, like I can sort of feel that that cadence that they're sending at, and then wait without screen watching and let them send a clean attack, right? But you can't really do that anymore because on a neutral level, messy garbage is being sent back and forth so frequently that you have to just keep an attack ready and then be able to like use it to cancel off garbage. Now, do I think that that the back and forth play was bad? Obviously not, right? I thought it was fun. However, the problem is how centralizing it is. So when you have clean garbage back and forth as a thing in the game, you have to have it not be the primary win condition, right? Because otherwise it would just be all you're doing. Which is kind of what is Season 1, right? So Season 1 is just like you're ping-ponging clean garbage. So My point here is that if you want to have a game where that's the main way of playing, or that's a large way of playing, it's going to be your entire way of playing the game. And so I think that it is healthier to have an approach to like those sort of clean attacks where it's like they have a use, except you can get punished for open sending them, like how it is now, where you have to put a little bit more thought into what you're sending and receiving. Now, sort of the second part I want to talk about here is one of the like directional shifts with Season 2, which is to a lower volatility game. And so one of the biggest issues with Tetris as a whole, not just Tetrio, was the idea of like last spike wins. And so what last spike wins means is that like basically nothing that happens in a match matters until the last spike or the last action that's done that kills the opponent. And everything else that had happened beforehand, like, basically could have not happened because they don't contribute to the last spike that won the game. And so, what that's a result of is volatility. So, how I view it here, it's like, imagine a game. So, at the top, so on the y-axis, this would be advantage. So this would be like, let's say, Team Red, or like player red and player blue, let's say, right? Not team. And let's say that like this is advantage, and it would like swing, right? It would go up and down and up and down and up and down. And basically, if this is like the even point, the winner is the one to like touch the top here, right? And so this is how like basically season one and pretty much every other uncapped versus game would work that had like free down stacking, where down stacking an entire board of garbage was like fairly easy. So you would have like, okay, well, player red gets an advantage, blue gets an advantage, spikes back, maybe this one was small, spikes, and the first player to touch the top wins, right? And the problem is, okay, when you look at this entire game, like this section was all that mattered, and this section here didn't really contribute to the game. You were kind of just playing until someone won. And this is what happens when you have a volatile game, right? And so you have like these peaks and these troughs, and these are like your volatility. And once the game blows up to a breaking point, then someone dies. And so if you want the primary way of playing the game to be like you win via pressure or via volatility, then you can't really have any other context behind that, because what you're dying to is just baseline volatility. And so the model that I want to shift to with Season 3, and the reason why I mentioned this as like there are certain things that I can't bring up that are in the works, right, is that I would like the role of pressure to come back, but come back in more of a form of like you are using pressure to punish someone or reduce your opponent's options. Because right now, when you're sending pressure, at an even skill level, you're only minorly reducing your opponent's options, right? Like if you're against someone who's all spinning, they might have to include a few more quads and TSDs into their like sort of all spin diet to be able to cancel off the necessary volume, right? But on a whole, like, you are not going to be interrupting them that hard. But if the baseline level of volatility in the game is at a point where, like, you can realistically stop someone from all spinning, get them out of, like, their comfort zone, or break their surge via just pressure, right? Then that becomes a much more appealing option. And so that's sort of the role I want to take on volatility, where I want to bring volatility back into the game, pressure and volatility back into the game, but I don't want them to be like your primary win conditions. I want them to be fulfilling different goals, such as like putting pressure on your opponent, which reduces their options and stops them from achieving their own goals, right? So That's sort of my take on this. So, do I think it's valid? Absolutely yes, right? I think there's very very valid reasons to miss certain parts of season 1, such as like garbage ping pong. And do I think that clean garbage ping pong will exist ever again? In its purest form, probably not, but I think in general pressure I do want to look into making more viable. There is my answer. Thoughts on the thumbnail? When I remember this. That's so funny. This is a banger. From Tetrio High Level Gameplay. My goat. Other games have permanent damage of some sort, so it's kind of unique. Yeah. I would actually, the biggest thing that I would compare it to would be like volleyball. I would compare versus Tetris. Like, you could consider it tennis as well, I guess, right? Because there's like a back and forth, but I find volleyball utterly boring to watch, so like I sort of compare it there. Even though yes, it's like Tetris and tennis. It's like it's Alexei Pajitnov's favorite sport or whatever. But yeah, like I think it's more like table tennis. Yeah, you could see it as that too, right? And so yeah, like with season 2, the conscious decision was to scale back the level of volatility, and then have like permanent scaling mechanic, or not permanent, but like lasting scaling mechanics that you can have macro play between. Volleyball art would be low-key cool for TWT art. I just think we shouldn't have gone with the sports theme in general. Like, that's my opinion. I don't think that the like IRL sports parallel was that good. But like if they wanted to theme around it around something, then I guess like it's not the worst option that you could have chosen. I swear to God, Ickley gonna bring another cringe character for Garbo to look at. Like fucking MASH? Is that what you're talking about? Wumbo Ping Pong versus QMK Table Tennis. Dude, where's QMK been? Idea for Tetris Season 3, just revamp Tetris Battle KO system. Yeah, that'll be what does it. At the end of 2 minutes, you whoever has more KOs wins. And then you just make it super volatile. You make it be like quads that deal 8 garbage, and there's like garbage plus 3 or something. And you just spike each other out infinitely until someone gets more KOs than the other. Have you been following Red Bull Tetris at all? Not particularly, no. It's not something that I'm that interested in, on the whole. Because it's just kind of like bad Tetris. Season 3 should add style points, so the more spins you do, the more stylish you are. Okay, here's my take on style. Because this is something, actually, speaking of QMK, I like talked to QMK about this a long time ago, if I recall correctly. I remember QMK had something to say about it, but yeah, like, I think that with anything cool or stylish, if you add a reward to it, people are gonna optimize it and it's not gonna be cool anymore, right? Like, think about like T-spins, right? Like, when T-spins first became a thing, that must have been the coolest shit ever. It's like, oh my god, you're spinning a T-piece. That's insane, right? But now, people do it like it's breathing. There are practical T-spins, there are impractical T-spins. People do the practical ones, and that's your optimized version of it, right? And it's like no longer seen as cool. But once upon a time, that was like the pinnacle of coolness and style, right? And so, like, you could say the same as like, oh, if you were to make T-spin triples deal a lot more damage, right? Like, okay, you would make you would make them more incentivized, right? But at an optimized level, it's going to be like people just build TST towers, and whoever has the most burst speed for a TST tower just wins, right? It'll be Westdale City. So whenever you add like a reward for something with the intent of making it regularly used or having it be regularly used, it's not gonna be cool. It's gonna stop being cool like very fast. It'll be like impressive maybe, right? But it'll stop being cool, or much of it would. There's no way to make everyone cool. There has to be some inequality in coolness, because that's what makes it cool. See, it's the same thing with like make fins worth more. It's like, yes, they could be made to do more, right? Like, you could just heavily reward fins, but would that actually lead to cool gameplay? Like, not really, right? Because it's essentially the same thing as a TST, except, like, you can't stack them. It's like, okay, well, whoever is better at fins is just gonna have some overwhelming advantage, and there's gonna be, like, all these textbook spots to do fins, and it's not gonna be cool anymore, right? Because people are gonna get good at all the, things surrounding fins. They're gonna have ways of cleaning up the overhang, right? They're gonna have, like, all the different cues set up, and then it'll just be like a core skill that feels kind of shit. I don't think fins are cool, are fun to use. I actually hate doing fins. Like, the only reason why they're ever considered cool is because they're so weird. Allspin has been made uncool now. I think there's still like cooler versions of Allspins, but like the like baseline level of Allspin single spam, I think has gone down in coolness by a lot compared to when I first saw it. Because when I first saw like the Zetris Allspin single video, that shit was like crazy. Overhangless S and Z, yeah. Like, here, hold on, let me find like Zetris Allspin single. How to Allspin single. Like, this video dropped, like, this wasn't even that long ago. This is 6 months ago, man. And this is cool when it came out. It's, like, not cool anymore. This is, like, the most normal shit. Like, I see Lellerer do this in his sleep nowadays. Like, in fact, this is less impressive than Lellerer. Bro, true, we could do this shit now. It's only been 6 months. It's like, imagine if this was left for like a year. Or 2 years. It was like your most average supercharged run. Make mini spin singles, add 0 back-to-back, but keep it. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to keep addressing this same thing. I need to like add I need to record it so like there's and put it in a YouTube video somewhere, just so there's like a post of it that exists, like an FAQ. Because okay, the reason why you can't have all spins. Okay, so let's take a look at back to back, right? So, and let's look at why having all spins in season 2 is important, right? So season 2 includes all spin, like all mini, because you are the game is more based on retaining back to back and keeping your number, your high number, right? And so because of that, and building up your big surge, and so because of that, making it easier to both build the surge number up and retain the surge, it's like a lower risk but lower reward than just having like T-spins and quads keep back to back, right? So let's to understand this more, let's take a look at season 1, right? And so if we look at season 1 and we look at and we look at the back-to-back system and back-to-back chaining, let's imagine what happened if we added all mini but made it not stack back-to-back, so it just held it, right? And it doesn't send any additional. That would be a bad system because it ruins the risk reward, right? So it adds or reduces risk too much while keeping the same reward, right? And so when it comes down to back-to-back, you want to have it either be like high risk, high reward, where you need to stack cleanly and one little stacking error will break your back-to-back, or you want it to have it be like more low risk, low reward, where like it's much easier to retain and stack your counter, but your opponent's also doing that, and it's like there's a lower reward because you're not going to get as many advantages from playing it like that, right? So in that sense, it does not make sense to keep the reward the same, keep the reward low while significantly reducing the risk. Like it's not compatible with the system, right? And so you could make the argument that like, oh, well, you can make a new version of back-to-back that can accommodate for a lower level of risk, right? But at that point, like, why would you like, that's just asking for a completely different system. Like you definitely could, but that's not what the game is, right? At the moment. So that's like asking for a small change that would require an entire different game to work. Does that make sense? I feel like I've explained that like better the last time I explained it. But yeah, like back-to-back, you either want high risk, high reward, or low risk and or like medium risk, medium reward. You don't want it to be low risk, low reward because that's just like down stacking, right? On the whole. But you want it to be like medium risk, medium reward in the current Surge system. And so like reducing the reward without reducing the risk, or increasing the risk without doing this asymmetrically doesn't work, right? So they require a corresponding change. But yeah. Let's see. I said spin singles, but doubles and triples are okay. I mean, even then, like a similar thing sort of applies where you are adjusting. So it's singles, it's like a little bit better, but you still want there to be like fast chaining, right? So the way that I would address that, the way that I would just address the problem that you're getting at here is not by making them not stack back to back, but instead increasing the risk. So, for example, you could make it so they don't send lines, right? They stack back to back, but they don't send lines, so you just don't have cancel power while you're doing an all spin single. I think that is like a fair sort of way to handle it. So you would have to do your spin singles with a multiplier to actually even to start a multiplier combo to even be able to get line value off of it, right? So I think making it more punishable would be a good thing, but making it punishable by like just you're doing nothing to fix your stack, I think is less of the correct option. It's crazy to think I found this video like so impressive when I saw it, and now it's like the most normal gameplay ever. Wait, yo, what's up, Caitlin? Wait, okay, this is actually someone I met at TwitchCon. Wait, did you get sick from TwitchCon, by the way? Because I haven't been able to stream in like 2 weeks. I've been sick out of my mind. I like still have somewhat of a cough. It's like mostly gone. I had it like pretty bad earlier though. see. My biggest issue with Season 2 is that nothing feels satisfying. Spike Star used to feel incredibly rewarding because of the skill required, but now Surge is almost always a more effective strategy, with downstacking only being a mild added benefit. So, like, I'm not sure if I even agree with that at a base level. Because, like, surviving, yeah, like, okay, Dingo literally just said what I was saying. Like, surviving feels more satisfying, right? Surviving feels more satisfying, and I think landing, like, a good Surge spike also feels really satisfying. So, like, yes, it's easy to, like, build up, like, to like, 15 Surge and then send it, right? That makes sense, but, like, you still have to add additional spike. So, like, being able to, like, build, like, let's say 8 Surge and then stacking, like, TSD garbage quad, right? Like, that feels satisfying still. So those kinds of things, like, and I think chaining with all spin does feel satisfying as well. Like, I think that can be, like, a subjective opinion, but I think, like, it's a matter, that would be a matter of preference on, like, what types of spiking that you find satisfying, rather than, like, there is less spiking, right? Amplifying spikes with Surge can exist. But also, like, wait Season 3. Also, I have 2 messages. Dude, ever since I added this guy, he's been just sending me random messages. Yeah, if I had to be honest, the basketball soccer TWC backdrop sucks. Hello, read previous message. Why am I so bad at this? Hi, Garbo. Hello, Garbo. It's like, I keep getting messages from Jerome69420, and I, like, don't really know what to respond to any of this with. Quick say hi to Garbo. I finally got got Revive 20. This took 5 months and 619 runs. Congrats. You can have a congrats here. Let's see. I've been meaning to ask this question for a while now. Are the systems in Quick Play 2 always going to stay the same, even after big changes like Season 3? So, in terms of, like, large-scale mechanics, so let's say if we have, like, Surge 2 or something, right, in Quick Play, let's spectate someone, just so we have something going on in the background. We will spectate Y block. Actually, wait, let's spectate a friend. Let's spectate Botches, actually. Let's see what this guy's up to. Okay, well, he just killed himself. What is this guy cooking? Alright, what was I saying? Yeah, so in terms of, like, versus mechanic changes, that is not going to be what makes it into Quick Play. I think that, like, the way that the current system works is good. So, I wouldn't want to, like, I wouldn't want to have to design, more than that, I wouldn't want to have to design versus mechanics to always have to accommodate Quick Play. I think that's very limiting design-wise. So, what I would end up doing instead is I would be down to do, like, an overhaul of Quick Play, but it would be independent from the Season 3 mechanics, right? Like, those, I don't plan on having them influence each other. That's not in my plans. Bro thinks that is Twitch chat. Sometimes I get, like, random DMs from people I don't know. It's like, in other, like, this person will just be like, 1v1? Duo? And it's like, you know what, I'm just not gonna respond. I get, like, a bunch of those messages whenever I join Quick Play. It's, like, kind of funny, because, like, people will spectate me, and I'm just doing, like, the worst supercharged run ever. Fuck it, let's play one while going. Because I can read chat, like, to some degree while playing. We'll just play kind of, like, chill. Okay, well, me when I immediately, like, destroy my entire stack because I'm reading chat. Makes sense, just a random thought I had since Season 2. Yeah. I talked about this earlier in the stream, but I do think that, like, an overhaul to the mechanics of quick play would be a good thing in general, on the whole. Just because there's a lot of mechanics in the game that are just not very polished. Or things that, like, in development I thought were important, but in practice have just turned out to not be that important. Because one of the biggest flaws with quick play, right? Because when I released quick play, I was like, oh my god, this is, like, so good, right? I was, like, very happy with what I had made. But as it's, like, been out for longer, the flaws do end up showing themselves. And the biggest one, in my opinion, the biggest fundamental flaw that has shown itself that I didn't at least anticipate to the scale that it has been a problem at is that the game, it's, like, very hard to change. So if I want to change the game, because something is not functioning properly, it will require me to make it balanced so that the scores stay of the same difficulty, which means that I also can't change the difficulty at all, right? Everything is set in stone. Or for the most part set in stone. And because of that, it's like, it's a very inflexible mode. If I want to update it, it's not like I can release a patch because it has leaderboards like a single player game, right? So if this were Tetra League, if this were like a multiplayer game, then what would happen is, like, I'm allowed to change things because the patch happens for everyone, right? So new patch comes out, everyone has to play on the new rules, right? But when you have quick play, new patch comes out, but now you're competing with records on the old rules. So, and you can only, like, use wipes so much, right? Because, like, you wipe the leaderboard, and then after some amount of time, people start asking, like, what's the point? So obviously you want to be fairly careful with reworks, wipes, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's, like, the biggest issue with quick play in my eyes, is that it's just, like, development-wise inflexible. So it's great if you get it right the first time, but not everything was gotten right the first time, mostly because it's just a very, like, radically new type of game. So yeah, there's been many times where I've wanted to change something and I just can't. Feels bad. Cough, cough, escape artist. I think, okay, the thing is, escape artist, like, I actually don't mind it as much, because the bad version was, like, a mistake. It's because I did it while, like, in a hotel room in Toronto away from home. So, really, like, I think the, like, escape artist is one of the things that the old leaderboard, I don't even respect it that much, just because, like, it's kind of too similar to other things. It's just the full canceling mode, right? So that is one of the cases where I really didn't mind wiping the leaderboard. I think the first escape artist was better, the second sucked. I think escape artist right now is much better than the first version. I'm really not a fan of the first escape artist. I was really the only person who didn't full cancel in that mode. Now it's just self-inflicted wound spam. I mean, it isn't really self-inflicted wound spam. Like, you do have to tank garbage, and a lot of your, like, points on it are going to be based on garbage that someone has sent you. Like, I actually think that if I had to rework the achievement tier list, like, new escape artist, like the current escape artist, is like a pretty high tier IMO. I just realized I haven't talked about like going to TwitchCon either. Because what's it? Like, I have been sick for so long that I didn't stream for a while. Oh well, I'm dying. Holy. Let's see. Get your high five badges now. I did give away a few high five badges, so I don't know if Caitlyn is still here, but yeah, she got the high five badge. A few others did. I always like giving those out. Oh, but there weren't like many. I didn't meet any of the like more dedicated Tetrio players. Because last year I had met Summer Blast and Kronos, those two, and I got a picture with them. How was TwitchCon? It was good. It was good. You know, it's actually funny, because like I had to socialize so much. It was like really draining, but sort of along the way, I had this realization. Okay. And I'm not sure, this might be a realization that some of you have had. This might be a realization that some of you have yet to have had, right? But I realized something very, very crucial, which is this socializing shit is like not hard. So, I went to like several like, social events, right? Like bonfire parties, etc., right? And the thing is, like, most of the people there I didn't know, and so I had to like introduce myself a bunch of times, right? And so I'm not someone who has introduced themselves like I've not had to introduce myself like very much, right? And I would consider myself like just not a super social person, and definitely not an extrovert, okay? I see various people passing around the term extrovert. I want to make it very clear, I'm not an extrovert, okay? But like I like spending time alone much more than I like spending time around other people. Like it's very draining being around people, but like, okay, so I had to introduce myself a bunch of times, and I realized, like, this shit is, like, just like playing a video game. It's not that different. It's like, you have your opener, right? You know a few variations of it. It's like doing your jungle clear in League. It's like knowing your opening bags in Tetris. You just, like, you're doing the same thing basically every time when you introduce yourself over and over, right? It's like, you walk up to someone, you shake your hand, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm this, right? You maybe like make a comment about their name or something. It's like, oh, that's an interesting name. How'd you come up with it or whatever, right? If it's a username. Like there's other things that you can sort of go to, right? And now, granted, I'm doing this shit on easy mode because I'm at a event that's like for Twitch people. So there is some like common ground ahead of time. It would obviously be different if it's like a different crowd, but like at a base level, I was actually like really pissed off after when I was specifically when I was on the like return flight, while I was waiting at the airport, I was like really like I was like irritated that it's so easy. It's been so easy all along, and I've just like been an idiot. That's the like conclusion that I came to, and it's like if I just stop like being stupid and actually just like talk to people, it's really not hard at all. That's like that's been my sort of experience with it. It's like now I can just like like, cause actually this all started, I have a friend, I have a friend of mine, his name is, his name is Tim, right? So, to give some amount of context, this is the only thing you would know him for, but he is the friend whose breakup I based Bleeding Hearts on. So, his breakup inspired Bleeding Hearts for me. The flavor text in that. Okay? So, anyways, he's like a very, very social person. Like, very, very, like, opposite from me, right? And so, like, last year and again this year, he came down to Vancouver to visit, right? From Texas. And and we, like, hung out for a week each time. And the thing is that, like, this guy, he would just go around life, like, talking to people. Like, he will be in the line at a coffee place and be like, and he'll just, like, strike up a conversation with, like, two of the old ladies in front of us, right? And he'll just be like, oh, do you, like, come here often? Like, what do you usually get? Do you know what's good? And it's like, have you ever tried this, right? And he'll, like, make conversation. And they, like, fucking love him. Like, immediately. And I'm like, holy shit, you can just do that? And so, I sort of try and, like, borrow his energy when I talk to people now, right? It's like, well, fuck it if he can do it, right? And I realize that, like, okay, well, if I just do what he does, he's not doing anything that complicated, right? He's just, like, smiling, going up to someone, talking to them, being friendly. And then, like, it works out for him, right? And so, there was also, like, this time around, what's it? This year, right? So this was, like, a few months ago, like 2 months ago, right? Or, yeah, 2 months ago. So, we were walking around, like, downtown Vancouver, and he saw this, like, puppy yoga spot, right? And it was this, like, you had to, like, go upstairs to get to it, but it just said puppy yoga. And he's like, oh my god, I want to check that out. And I'm like, we're not going to fucking puppy yoga, right? Like, there's a sign there that, like, says that, you have to, like, book online first. There's no walk-ins, right? I'm like, we're not fucking going in there, right? But then he just, like, he's like, nope, I'm going in there, you're coming with me, right? And so he pulled me in, and he just starts talking to random employees there as they're having a session. I'm like, you're clearly bothering them. But he's like, no, they don't seem to bother at all. They love it, right? And I'm like, they do? And it's like, fuck it, man, it turns out they do. And so he just, like, goes up to people, assumes they like him from the start, and it just works. And so I'm like, you up, man? Like, fuck it, I should try that. And it turns out it's, like, actually not that hard. So, yeah. I've been, like, slightly irritated ever since then because, like, I don't know what the fuck I've been doing my entire life, man. I don't know what, like, all of these, like, I spent 23 whole years, like, not knowing that you can just talk to people. Won't work in Asian communities? That was in Chinatown. Now, granted, puppy yoga was one of the more white Chinatown things to do there, right? It's not the most Chinese thing. But, point still stands. In Asian countries. I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's true or not. But, like, dude, I was pissed. I was, like, actually unhappy. I was like, dude, you could just walk up and talk to people. He'll, like, randomly be walking down the street, and he'll, like, see someone and be like, and just, like, randomly compliment them. And they like fucking love that shit. He's like, yeah, you know what, like, if I have the chance to make someone's day, it's like, fuck it, man, sure. We'll be, like, at a restaurant, and, like, the waiter will come and get our with our food, and he'll, like, start a conversation and be like, dude, I really love your, like, tattoo. Wait, can I see that closer? Like, why did you choose a like, butterfly, right? This guy will just, like, talk to people, man. And so, I realized it's like, okay, if I have, like, an example of it in my head, like, there's sort of a, I think having like, a clear example of someone who makes it work in your head, that's, like, at least in some way similar to you, whether that be age or whether that be, like, personality or whatever, right? Like, I think it makes it so easy because you just do what they do. By any chance is he conventionally attractive? Yes. But I think in general, the people that are going to be like naturally confident are going to be attractive. But that doesn't mean you can't like copy them, right? It doesn't mean you can't like do what they do. At least to some degree, right? But, like, the thing is, there wasn't even a barrier. It was just easy. Like, it wasn't like a, oh, once you get the hang of it, once you get practice. Like, it was just not hard, man. Like, you have to understand, I was at the airport sitting there, like, seething. Like, I swear, I've, like... Maybe, okay. So, obviously, it's not gonna be the same for everyone, right? It's not gonna be the same for everyone. So, I can't, like, speak for everyone, right? Because it might have been just, like, something that I was already, in some way, innately good at, that I just, like... was being an idiot with and not acknowledging that I was innately good at it, right? So, that could be the case, right? I'm not gonna rule that out, but, like, I don't know, man. The solution to social anxiety for me was just to, like, stop being a bitch. Like, and talk to people assuming they like you instead of that they dislike you from the start. That's all it is for me. And I spent a very long time not realizing that. Dude, one of my friends, when I was at TwitchCon, he's like a fan of Lily Pichu, right? And we saw Lily Pichu on the street, like around like the sort of that side of downtown San Diego, right? And he like, I was like, you want to ask her for a picture? And he's like, no, I don't want to bother her, right? I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I literally like walked up to her. And I'm like, yo, my friend really wants a picture with you. Could you, like, do you have a second, right? And she was like, oh, sure. And so she, like, I had to walk her all the way back to my friend who was being a fucking bitch. And I'm like, here, this is my friend. And I'm like, yeah, I apologize. He was too shy, so I had to go up to him and do it for myself. And, like, it's like, dude, I swear this social anxiety shit is, like, I don't want to say it's not real, but I swear it's like not that big of a deal. You can just go up to people. Friends just like me for real. It's like, oh no, this streamer who came all the way to TwitchCon is gonna hate it if you ask for a picture. Like, bro, what are we doing? It's like, okay, I don't know. Somehow, in some way, I had convinced myself that socializing is harder than, like, getting Challenger in League. Or getting, like, X+ in Tetrio. Or something, right? But it's like, that's just not true, man. So if you can be good at a video game, it's like the exact same. It's the exact same shit. Garbo, do you get recognized on the street for being the mastermind of Tetryu Season 2? There was one time when I got recognized at an anime convention for being Garbo-can. But that was the only time I was recognized by face. Ah, I am dead. Like, social anxiety is not real if you don't care about consequences. Okay, but it's not even caring about consequences or not caring about consequences. I swear, that shit's not real. Like, I actually, like, I don't know. This could be a good thing, this could be a bad thing, but I have found myself with less like, sympathy for people with social anxiety as well. Or, okay, no. That's not true. Okay. I have less sympathy for smart people who have social anxiety. The people who, like, overthink it and stuff. It's like, bro, it's not that deep. I know that's what everyone tells you, but it really is. I used to roll my eyes at that shit too. I'm gonna become a high school bully, yeah. I'm gonna become a high school bully soon. Like, it's bad. Unironically calling people nerds, dude. League player character development. The thing is, like, getting good at League is, like, kinda social. Like, it feels like you can't really, like, lock yourself in a room and permanently play, like, League of Legends and come out the other end good at it. Because you need, like, other perspectives. At least it, like, helps a ton if you have other perspectives on the game. I feel less about that with Tetris. Where I feel like other perspectives are not necessarily as valuable. They're still valuable, but not as valuable as they are in League. Just because, like, the champions that you play in that game, significantly, like, there's too many different interpretations of the game. Ways to interpret the game that, like, you're not going to have an all-encompassing viewpoint just from playing yourself. So it's kind of like how, like, you can't go through life in general having every viewpoint because, like, other people live different lives than you. It feels that way with League too, where, like, other people live different lives than you, like, from their experience playing the game. But yeah, anyone in the chat? Okay, I need a show of hands in the chat. I want you to type 1 in the chat if you consider yourself like a socially anxious person. Like, let's say you have trouble, like, going and talking to people. What if someone is too socially anxious to type 1? They're lost causes. If you can summon up the courage to anonymously, or like, I guess it's under a username, but semi-anonymously type 1 in the chat, then, like, there's hope for you, okay? But if you're too socially anxious to type 1, there's no hope for you, okay? That's the metric here. Let's see. Okay. So, like... okay, there's a decent amount. There's a decent amount. Alright, so... The next step should be like, okay, what's the level? Like, okay, so actually, how about this? Okay, so out of everyone who typed 1, I want you to type 1 if you think that it's, like, minor, or 2 if you think it's bad and you, like, wish that it was better. So... yeah, that's what I want the next thing to be. So 1 in the chat if you think it's like just an acceptable amount, and 2 if you like wish that you were less socially anxious. I don't accept 0.5. You have to pick a side here. Just hold the stream hostage by not playing if they respond with a non-whole number. Yes. It's like, every time I see a non-whole number in the chat, I'm killing a hostage. Wow, I'm like just chilling on floor 10 while reading the 1s and 2s in the chat. So actually, and I see Philly in the chat saying that I was in an environment that's familiar. So actually, what's it? I was actually testing this shit out. And I was talking to people, just that, like, weren't from TwitchCon. Cause I was like, this can't be that easy. I was, like, trying to find reasons for it to be hard. So I made conversation with, like, several people at the airport who just, like, were not TwitchCon people. I made a lot of conversation with the people that were next to the 2 people in my section on the plane, right? And it is just that easy. It is actually just easy. Like, I was talking to people, like, much older than me, like, very different, backgrounds than me. There was this one woman who was, like, who was carrying this, like, drum, and she was, like, she was traveling for, like, spiritual work. So she was, like, she had, like, gone from Nigeria to Vegas and then over to San Diego. Like, I spoke to a lot of people, so it's not just people within my sphere. This works on everyone. Or not, maybe not everyone, right? Like, if you're talking to fucking, I don't know, someone who just genuinely doesn't want to talk to you, then, like, sure, right? But, if it was a different environment, say a school, it would be much harder. That's cope! That is such cope! No. That is such cope. I think, like, if people already have their friend groups and cliques and stuff, like, you can just go up and talk to them. Or if there's someone that is, like, separated from the group or something, right? It's like, let's say if, like, you just, like, you happen across someone. I think with a class or a new school even, right? Like, there are many chances to, like, get to know one person, and that can be, like, you're into multiple opportunities and such, right? Okay. But, yeah, like, I actually kind of agree with M8 that it's easier. Okay, this is such an interesting topic. Let me read some more. So, like, let's see. So I say, like, a few 2s, right? A few 1s, a few 2s, right? There's some people that are just chill with it. Some people that aren't. So I think, So my take on this, and this isn't going to be a step-by-step guide, but I think that I would venture to guess that quite a few of the people that typed 2 are fairly intelligent people, let's say, right? I think that in general, you're probably like a somewhat intelligent person, right? And so the reason I mentioned smart people before is because this is a problem that can be solved with intelligence. I thought it couldn't, but it's actually, like, really not that hard if you're, like, thinking. So, if you've ever been good at anything, let's say you've been good at a video game before, right? Let's say you rank in Tetrio. Let's put it as, right? Which I consider pretty good, right? Getting U rank in Tetrio is way harder than like being able to socialize at like at a decent level to where you can talk to random people and have good conversations. I think that, like, in terms of, so let's talk about like in terms of just like the base experiences that you would have, right? As someone who is, let's say, like, if you're like 19 years old, for example, right? I picked a random age, but I probably called someone out who typed 1 or 2 in the chat. But like, what I want to stress is that, like, if you've already done something like that, this problem is way easier to solve. Like, just on a difficulty tier level. So, like, if you've already solved a, like, let's say a, like, C-tier mission, a C-tier life mission, a side quest of, like, a C-tier difficulty of, like, being X rank or being U rank in Tetrio, right? Like, the next step is not hard at all. Or not the next step, but the steps for, figuring out how to, like, socialize and talk to people are not hard at all. I guarantee you, the vast majority of the people who said that they're socially anxious in chat have accomplished something much harder than being social in their lives, and you just have to apply the same shit there. That's why more intelligent people have trouble with it, because they overthink it. But, like, overthinking in and of itself is a lack of problem-solving skills, isn't it? Like, if you want to get good at a video game, you have to stop overthinking. You have to know how much to think. So, like, being smart is also knowing how much to think, right? It's knowing, being good at thinking and applying the correct amount of thought. They go hand in hand, right? So, My problem is that most people I talk to won't speak English. Yeah, then you run into more issues, but I'd imagine the problem solving like skills that are being used for that are the same, right? It's like you're solving another problem. So I don't want to be like that, like my life is like a video game type person, right? But like the problem solving is just the same. Like one is a more open system where there's more that you can do, right? But it's like there are games like that too, right? Let's see. You can't apply their different skills. Well, yes, obviously, right? But it's like, what I'm trying to say is that you've done something on a much, much higher difficulty tier already, right? So all it comes down to internalization of strategy is a knowledge to the point where one is capable of doing something of your nature. Yes, right? That is one way of putting it. Would be like, you're just like using this. You're just like, yeah, use your head, figure out what works. Doing something harder doesn't mean all easier tasks become doable. Yes and no, right? So there is some logic in what you're saying in that, like, okay, well, let's say that there is a certain task that you're just like, it is your personal kryptonite because you have like, let's say swimming is like generally a pretty easy skill, but you're like afraid of water because you were like drowned, you almost drowned as a kid, right? Let's say, which is like fair. So even though, let's say you're like the GOAT at Tetrio, and basic swimming is like by comparison an easier skill, one is like not necessarily easier to do in practice because you have to get over like that fear, let's say, right? So that is a real thing, right? But I think that like getting over like an emotional complex like that is also something you have to do in games. Like, I think that like maybe not at like a U rank level, right? And it would up the difficulty level of a skill, right? But that's still like at any level of, or at any skill, like that's something that you have to confront regardless. Is your own sort of mental biases like that. Oh shit, I misdropped. Am I dead? I'm not dead, nice. So, like, do I think that, let's say if you're like low-key traumatized from childhood or something, right? Like, yes, it's not going to be easy to undo that per se, right? But on the other hand, like, I don't know, man. If you're smart, if you've solved problems before, like, it's, I think the biggest thing that I have issues with, and okay, so everyone is going to have some example of someone who's so deeply traumatized from like abusive parents or something that they're like gonna have a really hard time functioning, and they were like, as a kid, like they had several personality quirks that just stop them from getting along with other people, and that chain reaction to like not having spoken to anyone ever, right? Anything like that, okay? There's always going to be some edge case that you can point to and say like, man, this guy has it rough, but that does not invalidate my point, okay? That's the first thing I want to say. But like what I want to stress more is that like how do I want to put this? I'm trying to find the right words to say this. I think that people give emotions too much weight. Give them too much power. And obviously how you feel matters. It matters a lot, right? But like, I think that it is a biased view of your own emotions to think that like it is some debilitating thing. You can just like do things. That's sort of my my end statement. Is that like mental barriers are real, but not as real as like people who have them give them credit for. Sociopathic out of context? Not necessarily, no. The only reason it sounds sociopathic is because, like, I think societally, we are too used to, like, overvaluing emotions. Again, it's not like emotions don't matter, but it's like, in terms of, like, it being taboo to not take them as seriously as, like, as the maximum, I guess. In the court of law, feelings don't matter, but that's just like not true. There's like a whole jury who's using their feelings. Like, emotionally appealing to the jury is just a strat. It's the game till dead. I don't think that feeling should be not on the table at all either, right? I just think that, like, there's a such thing as giving them more power than what they deserve. Is Tetra the best example of a video game to compare to developing social skills? I mean, skills are skills. I'm bringing up Tetrio because it's what we all play, right? But I can make comparisons to other games. I think League of Legends is a very apt comparison because of its, like, sort of, long-reaching depth. where it can be like compared to life easier. I actually, I wrote a tweet. Some of you might have seen it. This is while I was at the airport, because I got to the airport kind of early. The reason being because I went with some of my friends whose flight was, like, much earlier than mine. So I had a lot of waiting time at the airport where I, like, made conversation with people and was on my phone for some of it. But, like, what's that? I made a tweet. Basically saying that like there was a tweet that said that like that you should be improving rather than proving. I don't know if people saw that, but that was a tweet that was like somewhat tangentially related to the socializing thing that I'm talking about. Did anyone here see that tweet? I saw that tweet. So, like, the idea here is that, like, in order to improve at anything, like, there is no such thing as secluding yourself away from results. You have to, like, whenever you are trying to improve at something, you are also trying to prove something, right? So you are trying to prove small little micro things. Does this work? Does this not work? Okay. I am going to open Twitter and just show it really quick. Also, dude, I got 23k likes on this League of Legends tweet. But yeah, this tweet, a lot of people read it. Not a lot of likes. I think people didn't get it. So I wanna talk about it. But yeah, so basically this tweet says focus on improving, not proving. Okay, so I said proving over improving. I'm not sure where the notion that proving yourself is ego-driven came from, but my best guess is that it's a psyop by the self-improvement industry to make people feel incomplete and reliant on them without actually fixing anything. Proving yourself is how you test if your methods actually work. Have a cool idea or theory, test it to prove it's good or find out why it's bad. Also hate the idea that the need for external validation is a deficiency of character. The entire world is external, so it's crazy to think that seeking to verify your ideas and methods is a bad thing. Who has a bigger ego? Someone who tries to test and prove effectiveness before being confident, or someone who is confident without proving anything? Okay, so this tweet had some level of pushback, but let's talk about how this applies to socializing, okay? And how this applies to playing games and why I think they're similar, okay? So how you play, so this might sound like, oh, you're not proving anything if you're just like playing single player in Tetris, but you absolutely are, okay? So on a small level, you are trying to do like, you're trying to like stack, and then you see what's bad and you see what's good and you do more of what's good and you do less of what's bad, right? So that is proving what's good or seeing what's bad, right? That's how you improve at this, right? So improving and proving are the same thing, basically, right? So in fact, maybe this is wrong because I didn't put an equal, but like, see, some people might get really bogged down by losses, but telling them just to focus on improvement might help. But what does focus on improvement mean? Okay, this is why this is also what I got rage baited by. Okay, this is why if you ever see me posting like a long post on Twitter, it's usually because I'm pissed off at something. Okay, so like, okay, I actually really hate the thing focus on yourself too. Okay, focus on yourself, also really fucking stupid. So how do I put this? Like, everything that you improve on, everything that you do is in some way in interaction with the outside world, right? So, like, if you if you uh if you look at the outside world, right? Let's say your stack is the outside world, where like whenever you build your stack, sometimes it ends up clean and sometimes it ends up unclean, okay? And you have to ask yourself, what is the world telling me when I suddenly lose because I build an eyepiece dependency, right? Or versus a time when it works perfectly and I have a clean stack and I can clear T-spins and quads easily, right? So what does the world tell me? I make certain decisions and the world tells me something back. The outside world tells me something back, right? And so literally everything is this. Oh my god, dude, my voice cracked because I'm like, I have a sore throat. Fuck. But like everything that you could possibly want to get better at is an interaction with the outside world, right? In some way. And even if you're sitting there thinking, right, you should be like, what actually causes improvement is if you're reflecting on the outside world, right, which is still a focus on the external, right? Or you're coming up with an idea that then needs to be proven on the outside world, right? So at the end of the day, literally everything is the outside world. And so when you tell someone focus on improvement, right? Like, what does that exactly mean, right? Because if you tell someone focus on improvement, that's also a result, right? So, okay, they could be losing a lot and not and feel sad about it, or they could be not improving for a long time and also feel sad about it, right? So in both of those cases, they're bad for the same reason, which is that they're focusing on the wrong things, okay? So if you are focused on improvement, or if you're focused on how much you win and how much you lose, those are the same thing, and I think they're both wrong. Because like what the problem with both of those things is that they are not rooted in reality, right? They're like abstract concepts that are in your head and not focused on the outside world. And so, for example, a better example of like what a good mentality looks like is, okay, well, I'm losing games, so and I'm not improving, so what is the skill that I need to get better at, right? And then you make a judgment on what you need to get better at, right? And then, okay, so after that, you practice the skill, right? Or you play with it in mind and you have some extra attention put onto it, right? When you do it well, you feel good, and when you do it badly, you feel a little bit worse, okay? And then afterwards, you can use your brain and analyze, okay, well, first of all, am I getting better at this skill? And second of all, is this contributing to how much I win, right? Because there's also the chance that you were just like doing the wrong thing. Like, let's say you thought that you needed to get better at down stacking, but that wasn't the problem at all because the bottleneck was somewhere else, right? So that in and of itself is a very large focus on results, but it's on the correct results rather than just like focus on improvement, focus on yourself, right? Like, it is a curiosity for the outside world. I think that if I had to reword this tweet, I would say, don't focus on yourself, be fascinated with everything but yourself. Or, I mean, you can be fascinated with yourself too, right? But be fascinated with the world around you. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. Because if you fucking think about this shit, right? If you look around you and you think about it, then like, you'll focus on the outside. You won't have any sort of weird emotional attachments, and you just like do the things, right? That's focusing on yourself. It's about how you interact with the outside world. I mean, yes, right? But it's a focus on results, right? That is a focus on results. The only way you know if your ideas work, if you chose the right skill to practice, or if you have made the right diagnosis, or if you chose the right things to way to practice it, right? The only way that you do that works is by proving. You have to prove that they work, right? Or you figure out why they don't work and try something new. Especially in team games, I think it can be important to think about how to get better at things in your own control. This is usually what I mean when they talk about focusing on improving. I mean, you can talk about a variety of things, right? Now, I'm a solo queue player. I'm a League of Legends solo queue player, okay? So I know exactly, I know exactly, like, what you mean when it says, like, oh, well, you're focusing on your teammates all the time, right? But at the same time, a focus on your teammates is a good thing if you do it the right way. So, for example, like, if you look at your teammates, right, and you look at your opponents, you're not focusing on yourself, but you're really understanding what's going on there, right? If you really understand what's going on, you understand exactly what the person on your team wants to do, and you know exactly what the person they're facing against wants to do, right? And you have that sort of level of thought and understanding about someone else, and you are able to say then, coordinate yourself with them, right? Like, that is a focus on the outside that matters. And even in a game, in a team game where you're focusing on yourself, you're really focusing on your opponents, right? You're focusing on, like, well, why did I lose? What did my opponent do better than me, right? Like, you know yourself better than you know your opponent. So, like, the one that you should be looking at that reveals you is your opponent, right? Is your teammates and your opponent. Focusing on improving / yourself has the same energy as get good. Focusing on figuring out what you can improve and how / why is what people mean. They just use that phrase even though it sounds unproductive due to how unspecific it is. Like, I don't know. I think it's bad advice. Just because it's so meaningless. I get what it's trying to convey, but it's so meaningless. It's like, dude, don't get me started on people who say don't judge. I think don't judge is, like, the stupidest thing ever. Like, I made a tweet about this a while ago. It was a reply to one of my friend's tweets. Because I think, like, one of my friends, she was saying, like, something about, like, just, like, bad phrases, bad, like, figures of speech. I think don't judge might be my least favorite figure of speech ever. Don't judge is, like, one of the worst figures of speech of all time. Maybe not one of the worst, but it's definitely one of the ones I like the least. Like, because, okay, dude, the entire, okay, so my sort of, like, statement on it was, like, don't judge is, like, is a bad, like, sort of quote, because the entire world is information. So if you're not making judgments based on that information, like, what the fuck are you doing with that information, right? Like, the information is there for you to perceive and judge and make decisions upon, right? And so if you aren't judging, then, like, you are wasting the information. It is like a waste of information. So, like, and I think the people who get, the people who get, like, sort of labeled as judgmental, like, poorly, are just people with bad judgment, right? Like, it's a purely a skill issue. So, like, for example, right? Let's say that someone, someone sees that let's say that they see that someone like likes Harry Potter at the age of 27 and therefore considers them as immature and considers them immature off of just that information alone, and then decides not to hire them, let's say, right? For example. And it's like, that person is not being judgmental per se, right? They're just being bad at judging because you're making a judgment based on like information that doesn't matter, right? So good judgment is also like knowing how to withhold judgment too, right? So for example, if there is someone who oh my god, this is like the worst TST ever. I think I just lose off of this. I think this is better. Okay, so if there's someone who like hears a bit of information, let's say you just made friends with somebody, and then a random person comes up to you and says like, hey, this person's a terrible person. Like he just cheated on his partner or something, right? And I was there, I witnessed it. So it might be judgmental to immediately decide to like cut all ties with them off of that, right? But it's like the smart judgment thing to do with there would be to like first try and judge how reliable the random person's statement was, right? You might want to ask for evidence, right? And if you know the person, you might want to use your own judgments. Think like, does that fit with my sort of mental model of them? Does that like is this something that I think is realistic? And even if you don't think it's realistic, you might still like want to ask a question or two about it just to like verify your own judgments. These are all parts of judgment, right? And so like jumping to conclusions when it's not viable to jump to conclusions is just bad judgment, right? It's not being judgmental or not being judgmental, it's just being bad at judging. So I really dislike how the like word judgmental gets framed, because like literally all of decision making is judgment. If you like refuse to judge, you are like forfeiting your power of decision making. You are like forfeiting your own agency in the world. Don't judge for me has always been using the concept to consider how to express it to others rather than giving your conclusions. Sorry, what do you mean by that? Like, in terms of, like, the way that you tell other people it? Is that what you're saying? Feels like semantics, and I hate semantics. So, it's semantics, but it matters a lot, because what else do you call that other than judgment, right? So, it might seem like these things, like, oh, it's like Garbo is just getting mad at semantics all the time, right? But the real issue at hand here is that the semantics here are using real world words that have their own connotations. So it's not like we're talking about flip-florps and meat morphs or something, right? Like, we're talking about real words that have real implications and meanings outside of the situations that we're talking, right? So, for example, like, focus on improving might mean, like, focus on your own improvement, which might mean, like, okay, well, your improvement is a result, which means, okay, feel bad if you're not improving, feel good if you're improving, right? So, because these are real words that have connotations outside of the meanings that I'm talking about and get used outside of these meanings, I feel like it really does matter. Because it gives people the wrong idea. And it makes people live the wrong way. Increase the font size on the on-screen chat. It's really small, even on PC. It's probably unreadable on mobile. I mean, it's mostly just there for like the If I can zoom in like this, maybe it's good. All right. It's mostly just there for like the video. All right. This is probably good. Let's see. It might mean keep it to yourself. It's about social niceties. I mean, like, you should have social grace, right? I'm not saying to, like, always say exactly what comes to mind. But I mean just, like, free Tetrio bucks 2025 no scam. Let's see. You're pushing the definition and scope of the saying beyond its use case. I don't necessarily think I am, because when you say don't judge, in terms of like, okay, let's say someone is like trying to open up to you about like their problems that they've had with addiction, and they are wanting you to be non-judgmental, right? In their poor decision making, okay? Let's say, for example, I probably should have used a less serious example, but that was like the first thing that came to mind. So, anyways, like, let's say, okay. Let's say instead, to make it less like serious, but still like a topic. Let's say someone is like super addicted to Tetra League, right? And because of that, they've just like skipped lectures for the past 3 months and are now about to fail college. Okay, let's say, right? Still, probably there's gonna be someone in the chat who's just like this, but yeah, and they are talking to you about it, and what they don't want you to say is like, haha, you're a fucking loser. Like, you really spent all that time. What were you thinking, fucking idiot, right? Like, that's what they're trying to, like, that's what they're trying to, like, receive from you when they say don't judge me, let's say, right? Is that you, like, approach it with grace. But that has nothing to do with judgment, right? So, I think the problem is that you're pulling judgment into something that is, like, just, like, judge better, right? Like, not don't judge. It's like me saying you should never do STSDs, when it's like, no, you should just do STSDs when they're good. And I'm like falling to the same poor quote making technology and fallacy. Not technology, fallacy. By saying that. Yeah, Wiley, we're talking about topics. Personally think Wiley should pick the next topic of debate. But yeah, I personally don't like the saying because it's like a really big misuse of judgment, and it gives judgment like a really bad name when like most of the things that you ever do that are important in your life are judgment. Is judgment. for something like as important as fucking breathing in the modern world, like, I think that using it in a quote to mean something completely different for just like giving the skill a bad name. It's a very bad quote for that reason. In your mind, what does the word judgmental mean? I mean, okay, so if I'm in a conversation with someone and they use the word judgmental, I know what they mean, right? It's not like I'm like protesting the evolved meaning of the word, right? However, I'm not talking about judgmental. I'm talking about don't judge as a phrase. I've honestly never heard someone say don't judge. Then you are, I guess I wouldn't even say lucky. It's just like, I'm surprised you haven't heard it. Withhold judgment. I think withholding judgment as a term is better. Withholding judgment like makes more sense as a term to use, but really not a fan of like don't judge. Does the stream end when World starts? Probably not. There's gonna be some downtime in between. I'm probably gonna stream my usual amount of time. Ugh. So feeling better? I still have somewhat of a sore throat, but for the most part, I'm like doing better. Enough to stream, right? Because the past 2 weeks, like, dude, my throat was so sore. Hey Garbo, I think that Tetris is a great game, but it's unplayable in terms of lag. So are you playing in the desktop client? First of all, the game will pretty much always be laggier than Gestress if Gestress is like your comparison. But I think that like there definitely are ways that you can play the game that won't lag. So the biggest ones would be if you're not playing in the desktop client, you should play on the desktop client. I think graphic settings, you can turn them down. There's also one in Quick Play specifically that disables the scrolling background, and while I do love the scrolling background, it's like not very good for performance. So that can be disabled. The other big ones are, let's see. I would recommend against playing on minimal just because it like gets rid of a lot of things, but low is pretty good. I'm forgetting there's like one other setting that can be changed. Obviously, like you don't want particles and stuff, but I assume you've already turned it off. I know there's like a guide for it somewhere on the Tetrio Discord. Yeah, in the redesign, lag should be addressed as well. Like, just because it's like we're redoing the rendering engine and stuff. So, yeah. In terms of like actually getting fixed, it's something that's being worked on for the big update. I swear there's an update a few months ago that killed it for me. There shouldn't have been any changes like in terms of like a few months ago that would decrease performance. Oh, me when I read chat and break surge. I should try Supercharged. Yo, what's up, Nara? Okay, I said I should play Supercharged, and then I'm just like, I remember that I suck at this. Oh my god, dude, I need to die, bro. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna play the game for a bit. Oh shit, that's not a spin that you can do, right? You have to do it like that, and then... Dude, I'm so bad at Supercharged, it's like kind of disgusting. That is not a spin either. Holy. Me when I'm 1.5 PPS. Okay. Oh man, it's terrible. Okay. I don't all spin single enough. I don't like mini single enough. I'm doing too many like doubles. I need like Lellerer to teach me or something. That's what I need. I need to phone up Lellerer. That guy knows what's up. Like how do I even do this? Do I just do this? No, that's definitely not how it works. I'm spinning. I'm doing it. Except not really. What am I doing, man? Verdict on the supercharge needs work. We'll put it that way. This is like watching a fish flop on water. I never admitted to be good at, I never said I was good at this. It's like I'm gonna look on, the Tetrio Discord tomorrow and there's gonna be like people saying like, this is the person we let make the game. This is the person we let design the game. Hashtag fire Garbo. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Oh shit, no! Fuck, 175. No, man, FF. Ah. Oh, it sucks. Okay. Those who can't play design and those who can't design Tetrio. You got me, bro. Let's see. Okay, but that solve was kind of goated though. I think there was some like decent stuff going on there. I think I cooked a little bit during that run. It wasn't all bad. My PB is like 185. So that like wasn't even that far off, right? Like what was my back to back there? Let's see. Oh, it's on overview. That was 178. That was like close to my PB. It just started really, really slow. How do you all spin brain rot for supercharge? Don't ask me. I'm trying my hardest here, buddy. I'm not like the others. I can't do it quite like Vincent or Lellerer. I'm still too like T-spin pilled. That's the one that works. Okay, I chose the right side. Nice. But I'm getting it. Fuck! It's tough. Pull out Tiki Tech? I don't even know what Tiki is doing. That guy is doing some madness. Some kind of shenanigans. Let's see. Oops. There we go. That's like what the cool kids would do. They would do a spin like that. All right. The all-spin brain rot is warming up. I'm getting there. Okay, it's looking better. Oh shit, I need a Z piece. Okay, well I built a dependency there and it was really bad, but it's okay. It's fixed. Okay, nice. Alright, like this. Okay, wait, I'm on good pace. The pace is good. I can PB off of this. Garbo, will you make another PowerPoint? Maybe? Oh, I never got to review Fort's thing. Maybe I will soon then. After this run. I meant to respond to more stuff, but I kind of ended up just like talking about season 3. All right. Oh, oops, that was the wrong spin. Ah, that sucks. That sucks even more. Okay, the pace is impeccable. Now I did misdrop the piece on the side there, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Can I not do that spin? Oh my god, I just killed the run. 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 I need to keep going. I can't, man. Fuck. Wait, let's see. Garbo, what do you think playing on a school Chromebook is like? If you have the ads on, it's cooked. Thoughts on Talon nerfs? Oh yeah, they did nerf Talon. Wait, hold on, let me see. Yeah, that was just last patch. I mean, like, damage to monsters down. Like that's just it was in the cards. Minus 10 damage mod. Like that shit was too broken. Cause not necessarily for like most games, but if you're ahead, it's so good. Like having the 110 damage mod. So I think that it's like a fair nerf because Talon like already can so safely invade off of his E ability. So I mean, like I think Talon deserved it. My take. Okay. Redeem, thoughts on question redeem? I mean, I think that question redeem is good to have. I do like it. Obviously, people will ask questions the, like, informal way, right? But, it's like the kind of thing that you can ensure that it doesn't get skipped for some channel points, which I think is good. Thoughts on all spin? Like the current state of all mini? It depends. You have to narrow down your scope. Like, I need more specificity on what you're talking about, Gohan. Do you mean all spin mod? All mini? Current state of all spin in Tetra League? In tournaments, CWC? What are we talking about? Alright, I'm so far behind on pace right now. Like, I was at this floor last run with like 30 more back-to-back. It's crazy the difference here. How do I want to do this? Like... Okay. Well, Gohan never elaborated, so I do not know what he meant by thoughts on All-Spin. But I'm gonna assume he means the All-Spin mod, in which I think that the All-Spin mod is good, in general. Now, the thing is, with Magician, like the sort of like wound mechanic, it's not perfect, right? I think that some people find it like a little bit easy, but I think that with the addition of separating the categories, so now Zenith Explorer, it has to be no mod, for example, right? I'm a lot more willing to have things be strict buffs. So I think that where it might have been a problem in the past because it was like a buff to play Magician, nowadays I think it's good for the game. I feel a similar way with Warlock, where like Lellerer, for example, hasn't gotten 5k with no mod, yet is able to get there with Warlock, right? Because it's a buff. But that's not as much of a problem when you are when the categories are split and they're like distinctly different game modes, which I think is like one of the major benefits of making such a change. And it's the only reason why I was comfortable with like adding those things that are buffs in the Warlock rework in the first place. Alright. Dude, I need to stop doing T-spins like this. It's so bad. No, man, don't make it end this way. Sade isn't so. Gonna cancel there. Quad there. Wait, it's doable. Can win. Okay. I need to like, dude, my gravity. I'm gonna kill myself, bro. I got gravitied. No, man. I'm numb to this, yeah. All the superchargers, no. What was my number? 166. Dude, I can PB. I need a PB. This is really important. What's your back-to-back PB? It is 185. Okay, this is... I gotta just go faster, man. That's all this is. Uh... I don't even know what I'm doing. Let's see. Case is about as bad as last time. Oh, and that spin was terrible too. Although I think this one's not as bad to fix up. Because I can do it like that. And then like that. Dude, I don't know how to solve these like chasms. Like where you can't quad on them. Like, because you have to just do the whole thing down. I mean, obviously the answer is not to build them, but... yeah, I don't know. It happens when I'm, like, playing kind of fast and I misdrop. It's not the kind of mode you want to be misdropping in. Oops. This is fine. Okay. I wonder if I'd be like better than the goated all spinners from back in the day. Like as I am now. I wonder if like Baseball Boy would have been able to score higher than me in 2018 on like modern day Supercharged. Because, like, the things that I'm doing right now in 2018 would have been seen as, like, the coolest shit ever. This is, like, extremely normal. It's the kind of thing that I would, like, want to talk to Blarg about. Not because he'd know, but it's because, like, it's the kind of thing that we would talk about. Okay. Dude, 65 back-to-back at floor 5 is terrible. This one is bad. But it can be saved. I think this one's savable. Big fan of these like chain SZ spins. I love them. All right, let's see. That. Okay, 100 back-to-back at floor 6. This is like, the pace is almost better. Not quite though. I still need like a big amount of surge gain here to make it work. Okay. Not bad. Okay. This can work. Oh, I don't have a Z piece. I don't have a Z piece. Oh. No, bad. Okay. Spin that in there. It works. It works. It works. Nice. All right. Spin there. It's actually PBable. Because I hit that survival, it's PBable. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Don't drop it now. No! Oh, I fucked up, I fucked up, I fucked up, I fucked up, I fucked up. It's over, it's over, it's over. Hop on KOS can, man. Fuck my life, man. Ah, it's so bad. Okay. No, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. This time's the one, chat. Okay, well... well... Okay, hold on. This one is the one. Dude, oh, I soft dropped the T-piece in there. How young do you have to be to play this shit? I mean, I like got kind of adjusted to it from watching replays, but I'm still like, dude, I'm 2 T-spin killed, man. Watching some of these like other players, the players that are actually good at this shit play it, it's like, dude, it is crazy. The kind of shit that like Leather is popping out. It's like reset. There's gonna be like fucking like 5 players you've never heard of that are just like the complete goats at all spin. And it'll look like alien technology. Oh, oops. This is not what I meant to do. Sure. Oops. Okay. This is fixable somehow. Okay. Fixable. I can't, man. I can't. Okay. And then this. What am I doing? Holy. Okay, that's a good start. And that's a bad way to continue it. Into full clean garbage. I KO'd you and instantly broke back-to-back as well. Karma. Wait. Okay. I have the most issues dealing with like these kinds of stacks. Like this state here. Like what the fuck do I even do? Like, obviously, it's 2 eye dependencies, so it's bad. But I feel like a better player can do it. The strat is to not be on this board to begin with. How insightful, Caboozled Pie. Yo, what's up? I'm trying to become all spin-killed, and it's not working. Oh, I used my Z piece instead of my T piece. Okay. Well. I feel like my brain is like deteriorating. Fuck. That's bad. Yeah, it's like maybe I ought to not get on board states like these. How about that? What do you do during winters in Vancouver? I mean, winters like in the city kind of suck. I personally don't really like it because it's just fucking cold and there's slush on the ground and shit. Because if you're going in January, let me think. Oh shit. I don't actually think there's that much. Let me look up, wait. Like yeah, see, it says like yeah, like they say skiing, but there isn't like a specific thing to do in the winter in Vancouver. You think they'll let me skate on the Seawalk? Like there's places that you could skate like around in like the parks and shit. In terms of the Seawalk, I don't think so. But yeah, like people do like skiing and stuff, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like winter for that. Because the problem is like Vancouver is a lot of like parks and nature and stuff, so when it's like snowed all over, or like worse if it's not snow but if it's like wet and slushy, then it's like those kinds of activities are just not as good. So I think like Vancouver is not a very high tier place to go in the winter. Okay. Do this. And this. Alright. Here we go. Okay, now I'm getting into the groove of it. And then I accidentally build this giant well. And now it's no longer good. Probably shouldn't do that. Okay, it's not bad. Wait, this run looks good. This run looks good. I shouldn't say such things. Okay. Um... I fucked it. I fucked it up so bad. It's terrible now. How do I fix? No, I just made it terrible. Okay, it's saved. Oh, it's saved. Husky Tetris Club. What's up? I don't even know what that is. But thank you for the raid. I'm currently playing Supercharged, and this run is looking good. There is promise in this one. Okay. Nice. There's so much potential here. I'm locked in. Wind up. Okay, nice. It's been saved. Unfortunately, I'm doing a lot of, like, altitude gaining clears, but it's fine. Okay. I'm gonna have to go up a little bit here. Should be okay, though. Oh, this is not okay. Onto 4 here, and then up. The agony. I'm 3 off of my PB. I'm 3 back-to-back off of my PB there. Ah, man. I am 3 off. Hello, Seamless Dan. Hello, Ziani. I need to go again. I need to go again. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, I need the number in this, like, circle. So, okay. There are, like, some, League people in the chat. I saw 2 of them, so I will explain. Basically, this number in the box, I need to be 100 and, 180. Oh, oops. Okay, well, that's not how I do it. 183. And then, that's my best. So, every time I do a spin, I gain 1. And I lose it if I, if I do something that isn't a spin. If I, like, stop clearing spins or, wads. It's basically how it goes. So, you can see right now the number is 6, 7. Okay, well, someone's gonna make a joke about it in chat now, but... Anyways. Oh, great! Yeah, no, awesome! Fucking someone's about to get the world record. Okay, let's watch them instead. You wanna watch someone who's good at this shit? Alright, Potato 2017 is currently at 367. And, the world record is 452. And now they're dead. Because spectating them kills them, apparently. Me when I jinx someone's world record run. Oops. Like, what even is the solution in case... Oh, wait, no, I'm stupid. Talking like it's unsolvable, and it just is fine. Okay. I'm in deep contemplation. Is this good pace? This is like okay pace. Okay. This. Okay, well, I just killed the pace for fun, so there's that. I killed the run pace for the love of the game, or what? This is like... I had a good 5th floor there. I recovered some of it back. Okay. Let's see. I can just stop doing these clears. It's so inefficient. Okay, I can do it like this, here, convert it in. I'm locked in. I'm so locked in. Okay. The stacking here feels kind of bad. Alright. Let's see. Good survival. We might be going places. Ah, the miss drop! I double clicked my space key. No, that was the run. That was the run easily. Easily that was the run. Oh my god, I'm in pain. Excruciating pain. What the fuck was that? No, man. Do you know Reset? Yes. Yes, like the person in the chat Reset? Yeah. We ate really expensive, what's it? What was the place? Katsu, yeah. We ate really expensive katsu in, Toronto. You spent $60 on 5 pieces of katsu. I mean, it was good. I don't think it was worth the money, but it was good. Oh shit. Okay, this one isn't the run. Yeah, that katsu place was fucking expensive. Okay, this could be it. I can't be saying that this early. But like, it's a good start. Let me cook. Okay. Like that. This is fine. This is okay. Is this? Oh, it's not spinnable. Okay. One last try. Reset, do you still hold the record? Yeah, Reset, do you still hold the record? Clockwise there? Really? Clockwise feels like so strange in that spot. Dude, I need to learn my eye spins. That's probably why. Like, I just don't have them committed to memory like that. That's probably why I'm struggling. Oops. Oh my, I actually fixed that. That's insane. I thought I was a goner. Okay. This is a good run. I need to focus. That's not a mini. Can't do that. I found that amusing. I had to like think for a second. I'm like, did we make those still hold back to back? In quick play? I had to like think for a second. Oh, okay, I need to stop doing these spins. Oops. I don't like the level of dependencies that I'm building here, but it's like probably fine. I'll figure it out. Good. I'm ending stream. Alright, I'll see you guys next week. Low elo down. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I will see you guys later. The stress of supercharged runs is universal. I need to end my stream right now. Can I send links in chat? Send the links in the Garble React Please channel and I will react later. Alright, anyways, peace.